Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We are talking Star Wars Armada today, and it is the Dream Team. What's the Dream Team? These are the first 5 aces that we had in the game during the launch of the core set and Wave 1. This was it. This was the heroes that we had for the Empire. And I'm going to talk about them today in this video and why I think they're still great today. At least most of them are. We're going to talk about this. We'll also do a list building video. If you're a fan of Star Wars Armada, Star Wars in general, spaceships and tabletop games, I talk a lot of that kind of stuff. A lot of science fiction, a lot of pop culture games, board games, card games, miniatures games, everything in between. Love to have you stick around. We're doing a $25 Amazon gift card giveaway right now. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. Let me know what your favorite game is and what your favorite universe is, and have you seen your favorite game yet, or is there kind of a game that you're really hoping comes out soon? Let me know your dream team also in the comments section below. While you're down there, check the description because we have some awesome sponsorship deals too. You can save 15% on Battle Foam with code Crabbok VIP. Also over at Game Toppers, which make amazing game toppers that will turn your table into a larger gaming table. You can get mats and accessories for your toppers. You can save 15% off of those with code Crabbok15 over at Game Toppers LLC. So check out all of the links in the description below. You can check out our Patreon and all that other stuff. So let's go ahead and start talking about these aces, the Dream Team. So I want to start off talking about the matriarch herself, Howlrunner. Howlrunner is absolutely incredible and is never needed to be adjusted. She is 16 points in a TIE fighter. You'd think that she could be killed pretty quickly, but that scatter ace, the scatter defense token is just incredible. So it really helps keep her alive. A scatter ace as a whole is already a really good thing. The brace in there in case a single accuracy does come up will often help keep her alive a lot longer than she should have been. And if you're fighting hopefully a little bit close to the station, maybe you can land on there and heal anything up. So she's usually target number 1. You typically have to protect her, but if she does get shot, the scatter is usually enough to keep her alive. And so why is she always public enemy number 1? It's not for her offensive capability. She only has 3 dice against a squadron. She does have Swarm giving her a reroll, but that's about it. No, it's her ability that supports the whole force, giving extra dice to everyone else with Swarm that happens to be near her. This is really, really good. So it says, while another friendly squadron with Swarm at distance 1 is attacking a squadron, it may add a blue die to its attack pool. So it's giving everybody else an extra blue die. It's turning those TIE fighters into 4 attack dice ships instead of 3 attack dice ships. It's a really good thing. It's turning TIE interceptors from 4s to 5s. It's upgrading everybody who has Swarm already, and a lot of Imperial squadrons do have Swarm, so she works really well with them. Those tend to also be cheap squadrons as well, so it's a very good thing. Of course, people won't go after those other ones. They'll want to go for her first. Now, to help bring the enemy squadrons down and help keep Howlrunner alive, you want to kill enemy squadrons. Mauler Mithel is an excellent way to do that. Mauler Mithel is also in a TIE fighter with only 3 hull, only 3 dice against enemy squadrons as well, but only 15 points. He is also a scatter ace, meaning he's also going to be hard to kill. But he comes in, he's not as support-oriented as Howlrunner is. He's more offensive. He's going to move in, and after he moves, each squadron engaged with him suffers a damage. And this is not combat damage. This is just straight-up damage that he is going to inflict on everybody that he's engaged with. So if your enemy has a tight squadron ball, Mauler comes in, boom! It makes that sound, ba-da-da-da-doom. You can spell that down in the comments if you can. Boom, and that's the sound it makes. He does it. It's just automatic damage. They're just gonna have to take it and maybe heal from it. Defense tokens are not gonna help against this kind of damage. And that's a very good thing because there are some nasty scatter aces out there that don't like to take damage. Mauler gets around a lot of those tricks and just puts that damage directly onto their base. Very good thing. Very, very good thing. And on top of that, he works really well with Howlrunner because he is a TIE fighter. He does have Swarm. He's going to get 3 dice normally, but Howlrunner is going to give him a 4th die, and he also gets the reroll for Swarm. If he comes in after Howlrunner, now she's already forced everybody to be engaged. He does a damage, now rolls 4. He's probably going to get at least 1 accuracy to stop a scatter ace. Boom, boom, boom. A lot of damage, and it does the boom thing again. So really good stuff. He can get tied down, though. That's the problem with Mauler Mithel. You don't want him to get locked down. You want to be blowing up enemy squadrons. His offensive profile helps do that. Now, to protect your little TIE fighters. Of course, they do have a scatter. You need Darth Vader, right? You need an escort. And Darth Vader played that role really well. He would come in and he would say, no, you can't. No, you're not attacking Howlrunner. You attack me. He doesn't have the scatter, but he does have double brace. He has a little more hull because he's in a TIE Advance. He's got 5 hull, can still move at speed 4, which is always nice. He has the amazing ability of all of his crits adding a damage to the damage total, which means he can roll up to 5 damage on a single squadron attack. Now, he's not getting Howlrunner's extra die because he doesn't have Swarm, but he's got great dice already, and that ability is absolutely spectacular. Darth Vader is super, super good in that TIE Advanced. He also rolls a black die against ships, and of course that can equate to 2 damage if he gets that critical. He's not bomber, so he doesn't resolve critical effects, but it still counts as damage, which is a really nice thing. He won't last forever, but he lasts long enough to allow your guys to do their offensive output and to keep Howlrunner alive, and that's a very, very good thing. Escort does wonders here, and it's kind of critical for our next ace, Soontir Fel, who has an incredible ability. Now, Soontir's in a TIE Interceptor, which already starts off with 4 dice, but because he has Swarm, Howlrunner can upgrade this to 5. Of course, there's other effects that can also upgrade it even further, but 5 dice with a reroll is exceptional. On top of that, he has Counter, which also can be upgraded by Howlrunner. Another thing that's very, very cool, and you can also use your rerolls with. He is also a scatter ace, so if you do finally get him, he's going to be hard to kill, and he's going to shoot you back. And oh, by the way, if you shoot anybody else, he's going to do a damage to you, because his ability is, after a squadron you are engaged with performs a non-counter attack, it suffers a damage if it did not attack you. Very similar to Mauler Mithel. We've got a lot of just damage that people can't scatter away. A lot of unavoidable damage that comes out of this bundle of if they all stay together, this whole group provides a lot of offensive capability and non-mitigatable damage, which is a very, very cool thing. So I love it. He's also super fast in that TIE Interceptor at speed 5, which is another wonderful thing. And again, this works exceptionally well with Darth Vader because, again, Escort says you must attack the Escort. Soontir Fel says, oh, you decided to attack an Escort. I guess I'm going to punish you for that. So, again, there was a lot of natural engines within this initial group of aces, and it's a very cool thing. The Empire doesn't have a lot of Escorts as well, so Darth Vader having Escort is exceptionally good for running in an old, kind of an old school build like this. Our 5th ace is the weakest of the bunch currently, but definitely had his heyday. That's Major Rhymer. Major Rhymer is a bomber. He's the only TIE bomber on this list, although he's not the only TIE bomber ace that exists. But he was the original, and he was the GOAT once upon a time. Rhymer balls were a thing a long time ago where we would have a lot of TIE bombers with Major Rhymer. He's got 5 hull. He's got double brace. Not the easiest to kill. Only 2 dice against a squadron, but a black die against ships with the bomber keyword. His ability says friendly squadrons at distance 1 can attack enemy ships at close range using all dice in their battery armament. The key here is that normally close range is about distance 1 to 2. It's a little bit more than just distance 1. Again, you flip the range ruler over. If you're newer to Armada, a reminder that distance 1 and close range are different lengths. Normally, squadrons can only attack at distance 1, which is about this much, and then close range is like this much, right? It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more. Here's why he's not that great anymore. Major Rhymer used to be. He used to allow people to attack at close to medium range. He used to give you, like, he gives you this much range. He used to give you this much range. It was a big, big difference. And the nerf brought that range of that bubble and how much he could actually allow a bunch of bombers to attack. It brought it down so much that it just didn't seem worthwhile anymore, because that only meant that you could fit like maybe one more bomber in there beyond what your normal range would have been already. And it didn't seem like it was really worth it anymore to have all those bombers that close. It also meant and one of the other points of distinction is for enemy ships that only had black dice in their anti-squadron armament, it meant that you could attack somebody and they couldn't shoot you back, which was also a potential thing that Major Rhymer lets you do. It also lets you kind of park your bombers in kind of a central area and still have this huge bubble of aggression that you could put out, and it was exceptionally punishing against any fleets that didn't have a pretty big squadron presence, because you couldn't just have your squadrons fly close to your ships. You had to have your squadrons like fly out into the neutral zone almost and stop it. So Major Rhymer has been nerfed almost to the point where he's barely used anymore. He does provide a little bit of benefit, but it's not a particularly big benefit, and he's I'm still included him because I still wanted to talk about him. Another reason why you can't use him, even if you're going for a thematic build of the original, the original Dream Team, is you can only run 4 aces in a standard 400-point build. And if I have to cut somebody, it's going to be Major Rhymer. So out of these 4, or out of these 5, who made the top 4? Everybody except for Major Rhymer. So let's go ahead and put that list together. So first off, I'm going to do a mixed build here. Now, this is going to be a build that has a little bit of squadrons, a little bit of ships, and is kind of well-rounded. I'm not going to go I'm not going to go maximum anti-squadron. I'm not going to go maximum anti-ship, but I want to be effective in all of those regards. So we are going to start off with Howlrunner and Mauler Mithel, and then we're going to run Darth Vader to escort them, and we'll run Soontir Fel to punish people for shooting Vader. The idea is hopefully Vader stays alive because people are attacking him. They're taking damage. Mauler's killing them also, and then we're also attacking them. And, ideally, I kind of want to fly close to the station. So this way we can, after we take people out, we can kind of move, land on the station, heal up a little bit more, and then keep it going. Now, this is only 4 squadrons. It's only 70 points of squadrons. This is a mid-level squadron. You could easily modify this, add a couple more TIE fighters, you'd be good to go. Ideally, I wish there were more aces, or more aces that had escort. There's not a whole lot. There's a few, but not a whole lot for the Empire. So, but because Vader would, you hate to see him die and to say, oh, attack me, attack me. We could put generic TIE advanced in there as well, but there's no defense tokens in there, so those can get one-shotted pretty quickly. Vader's double brace does at least help him stay alive for what should be a round or two with all of this stuff that we're doing, and for killing everybody before they. And also, I think this is a list that kind of wants to go first because of that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and put our ships out there. Now, I think I have enough defense against squadrons. I want to go a little bit classic, but I'm going to go with a Simoon for my Star Destroyer. We're going to go with General Ramadi for our. I want to have some firepower here. Ramadi allows all those obstructed shots to be not obstructed, and I get an extra die. So that kind of fits Howlrunner's theme too, like extra dice, right? I'm going to put Krennic because I think he's good on the Simoon. I'm going to put Intensify Firepower on there, so now I've got some dice correction in case I have any. Now the Simoon has lots of dice correction. With Krennic, if we do Concentrate Fire, we're going to have lots of rerolls. We're also going to have the ability to turn. So you can even reroll. You can fish for the double at this point, which I love. You can reroll those hits and try and get the doubles. If you get a blank, no problem. Intensify mitigates a little bit of that. It's a very good thing. If we're going to be doing Concentrate Fire, we're going to want Gunnery Team on there also, which is a very nice thing to have. For our other stuff here, we're going to put XI7s because XI7s are just great. And I'm going to take a gamble here and put quad battery turrets on this in hopes that I can get a blue die in there. And the reason for a quad battery, honestly, I think Spinal is the better option in this case, but I'm trying to save points to make everything work, especially with the squadrons that we've got. For our ships, and you can obviously make modifications. If you want to run a list like this, I would run maybe, one less Architans, but I'm going to run 3 Architans. And I'm going to give one of them Hondo Onaka. The 3 Architans are going to have literally nothing on them at all. This brings me right up to 400 points. That was the reason for downgrading the Spinals to quad batteries. I think when I was first working on this, I had 2 Architans and a Gazanti that allowed me to have a little bit more support. that might be, it might be a better way to run things, so you can have, some more dedicated squadron activations and some token sharing and things like that with the Gazanti. It makes sense. You're going to want concentrate fires to trigger intensify firepower on the flagship. My thought is this. Round 1, take a concentrate fire, bank the token. Now you're good. You're probably not shooting in round 1 anyway. Round 2, maybe you are, but by round 3, you're definitely shooting. So you're popping intensify firepower. Then round 4, you can pop Hondo. And then by round 5, you can then burn intensify firepower if you need it. It's not 100% optimal, but it should give you intensify firepower where you need it. It's possible also by end of round 5 you may lose your flagship anyway if you're going in hard and aggressive enough. So I think that Hondo gives me the extra kind of depth I need to make sure I'm triggering intensify firepower enough. And the Architects can honestly take squadron commands, bank a token on each on those on the first turn, and then I can still have enough squadron commands later on to be able to activate my squadrons. So that's the idea. The Simoon can also do a squadron command. It can activate 3. So we have different ways to do it. Again, this is a little bit of everything. This is kind of a well-rounded list. It's not doing everything. It's not mastering everything, but it's got a little bit. It can go all concentrate fire, blow up ships. It's got 4 ships that each have pretty good dice, and we have dice mitigation with intensify firepower. We can deal with obstructions pretty well here. I like a lot of this. We can go slow. People coming into us, we throw plenty of dice at long range. If they come in close, we can punish with Darth Vader, and then the squadron's a little bit. Again, the squadron ball isn't particularly great against ships, although Vader is good. The other 3 are really there to stop enemy squadrons, because that's our biggest weakness, is we don't have a good way to shut down squadrons that are coming after me. And until I add these guys. These guys don't have, I'm not running too many crazy things up there. So that's the idea. They're going to protect me against the biggest weakness, which would be enemy squadrons. These guys are going to try to kill the carriers for those enemy squadrons. And now we also have to add some objectives. So for this one, this was a little tough for me because I usually kind of go extreme from one side or the other. I'm still going to go with opening salvo for my red. I do have 4 ships. Opening salvo would work really good here, I think. I always like fire lanes because I like to know where the battle is going to take place. I do have some squadrons, but not so many that I can really stall and see where my opponent's going to deploy. So fire lanes gives me plenty of options. Also does allow me to, if they're coming in, I can kind of arc the Architects enough to where the fields of fire are kind of going to lay down over repetitive fire on anybody who's coming in. And one that I used to use in the old days that I'm trying to use a little bit more now is Dangerous Territory. I like Dangerous Territory because it just means I don't have to worry about obstacles. I can just fly over asteroid fields with absolutely not a concern in the world. And as a matter of fact, I think it works exceptionally well because of General Ramadi with Dangerous Territory. I want to put myself on those or very close to those, and I won't even be punished by shooting through because it won't be obstructed. It's a really, really nice thing. It's like, yes, I'm happy to land on this. It works well with Ramadi and all of that. So that's the list. It's my dream team list. Let me know what you guys think about the dream team in the comments section below. I think they're at least the first 4 I talked about still extremely good today. I sometimes wonder if it'd be fun to bring, try Major Rhymer back in like the original, like a pre-nerf kind of situation, just to see how well he would do in today's Armada versus where he was originally, with what were required the nerf. I think again, I know if I did go up against the Rhymer ball of old, I know Mauler Mithel would love to jump in there and just be like, oh, you guys are all close together, okay, boom, and they're all dead. Like, that would be a beautiful thing. Well, they're not all dead, but they'd at least all take one. Yeah, it would be a fun thing. He'd probably be stuck there for a while, but yeah. I mean, well, the bombers, if they have heavy, maybe not. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. That's going to do it for today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons as well. You guys are absolutely incredible. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all, and always wash your socks.